we all can say, you watch the media, right? It's it's one-sided propaganda,
Oh yeah, I could tell you something about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So we
Well,
need
yeah,
it.
what I was going to say actually is I don't know if you've gotten this, and I put it on my LinkedIn, but do you get these pitches for guests that are like, hey,
Oh,
we want to have on the show for you. It's a PR person, General so and so, and it usually is a general with all these military accolades, and they're like, here's a list of questions you could ask him. Why are Americans less likely to join the military? And they're rehearsed answers. So when I at least in my personal life, when I talk about the fake news media, there really is very much a fake news media, because it's a lot of the times these same generals that you see who work for the same like military contractors, or they work for a political action committee, whether it's for Trump or for Biden. They're going to give you their rehearsed answers, and you're not even watching their real opinions on anything. It's like a very well scripted PR spin on what's happening in the world.
I absolutely. I saw you post about that. I actually chuckled because I do have the same thing happen. I probably get emailed. It ebbs and flows. It might be 5 in 1 week. It might be none. But I've had a couple recently where, yeah, they're pitching books, and it's like, hey, let me tee up these questions for you to ask. And I'm like, I don't care about any of that. And that I don't very rarely, if I get introduced to someone for the podcast, like a friend of a friend's like, hey, you need to talk to so-and-so, he's got a distinguished flying cross, whatever. About the only research I really want is to kind of like, hey, I want to know about that sortie, because I do want to talk about that in those events. But I don't, like you, it's like, I don't want this scripted. And certainly if you're trying to sell a book or whatever whatever you're working for, I'm not going to, oh, well, okay, what do you think about,
I would feel crazy. And yeah, there's so many people too where it's the PR person. What questions are you going to ask on the podcast? And it's like, I don't know. We're just having a conversation. I didn't know they were going to talk about the Super Bowl flyover or any of this. It's that's what a podcast should be. But yeah, on the news, they know exactly what they're going to hit. You only have like 1 minute to give your answer, and they're going to go for the most like hyperbolic personalities out there who are going to say like, our country is going downhill, it's in the wrong direction. That's who they love. They don't love someone who's a little bit more level-headed and is going to give you a little bit more like moderate of an answer. So
you'll appreciate this. I'll have to pull this up. Let me let's see. I got one last week when I was on my trip. Let's see. They want to know about my thoughts on F-16s going to Ukraine. Let me see if and how they would hold up. And I like scroll through the bottom of this email, and when I get to the bottom of it, I see it's Sputnik News. I'm like, huh.
Oh, wow.
I got an idea where this one's coming from.
So that's probably something like RT, right?
It is. And I thought RT got kicked out of the US or went bankrupt because this was out of the DC bureau. But then if you look at it, it's state sponsored Russian news media. And so they emailed me multiple times just asking about, I can't find the email now, but it was kind of humorous. Which I've had episodes talking about F-16s going to Ukraine and my thoughts on it. But it's interesting because that one, I've seen several articles pop up like on Business Insider or wherever it might be, guys talking about this is the greatest thing. This is what Ukraine needs. And then now this is the dumbest thing ever. I might be in the latter camp.